Hello everyone, this is the Single and Lovely channel once again. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. For those of you who are subscribed, thank you for watching, for listening, and overall everything. Thank you so much for sticking with me on the Single and Lovely channel. Um, how was that last episode, y'all? It was it was releasing for me. I feel like we touched on a lot of sensitive topics and aspects in the last episode. Even for me, it was sort of like a release. It felt like I released something that I've not really spoken up about, and that was actually really amazing for me. And I really hope that it touched you. I hope that it helped you to decide to be intentional about how you are dealing with grief in your life as regards to losing an item precious to you, or losing someone precious to you, or losing, or at least letting go of your dreams and the things that you thought you wanted for your life, and embracing what God wants for you, embracing his plans for your life. I really hope that it helped you. So yes, let's get right into today's topic. So today's topic, as you already saw, is be the real you. Hmm. Someone wonders, like, is there a fake me? No, no, we're gonna get into that really soon. I just want to say that this is a special birthday edition for me because my birthday was a few days ago, and to be honest, I feel really elated. I don't know if you're like me. I'm not someone who is big on birthdays. Funny enough, I'm big on other people's birthdays, but I'm not usually so big on my birthday. For so long now, I actually hated my birthdays. I actually didn't like my birthdays coming along. I always wanted to just like skip past it or get past it because for some reason it reminded me of some things in my life, and I'm going to get into that later in any of our videos. Um, it was a time, one of my birthdays was a time when I did something really heartbreaking, and it really hurts me. And afterwards, I just, lost touch with my birthday. And this was me that as a kid, my parents would, celebrate me with cakes and photo shoots and stuff like that. But for some reason, when I got into uni, I just lost touch with it. I hated my birthdays. People would still celebrate me. My mom would, buy me cakes, even though I would tell her I don't want to do anything for my birthday. But I was just totally out of it. But this particular year, I don't know, for some reason, I'm just so elated. I'm excited for all the things that God, has for me, and the things that He's asking me to do. And to be honest, it's just a really freeing feeling. It's amazing, really. I got to celebrate my birthday with friends and family, and for the first time in a long time, I wasn't sad. I was happy, and it wasn't even with the fanfare or me going out, or unlike my birthday last year, I did a party, but I was so sad. It's so funny. I was so sad still. It felt like it wasn't even my birthday, right? But this year, I didn't even do any of those things, and I even went to work. I went to the lab, and still, like, I felt happy. I felt free somehow. I don't know if you have ever felt like that. That's how it used to be for me. And I know that from now on, I'm going to be excited about my birthdays every time, y'all. So, yes, this is a special birthday edition, and I just had to do a video and tell you all how I feel, and also talk about this topic that is so dear to my heart. And this topic, be the real you, right? Like I said, it's not like there's a fake you, but many people have become so attuned to not being themselves. They have, you know, conformed to this image that people have of them, or the image that they think people should have of them. And you find people, you know, faking things, doing stuff they're not supposed to do because they want to be like other people, or they want to do things that other people do, or belong to a tribe, or belong to a community, or whatever the case may be. And there's nothing wrong in wanting to belong. Every human being has been created with that innate need for people, for community, right? No human was created in isolation. Even from the beginning, Adam and Eve, after God created Adam, God decided, and God realized, and God decided, right, that He needed to create someone else. He needed to rather give Adam a companion. And you see how amazing it is that God didn't give man another man, you know, as a companion. But let's never get into that. He gave him a woman, right? And he understood, he knows that this is the person that man needs. This person that he brought out of man is is a person, or is someone who has everything that man needs in his life. And so no human being was created in isolation. We are all born with a need for community. However, a person must identify the right community to be in. But many people just, just find any community and just join, even when it doesn't really align with the values or the kind of person that they are. And so when we talk about being the real you, it's in different aspects, right? It's about being the person that you were made to be. That's one aspect. It's about, you know, not conforming to the ideas or the image of other people about you. It's about being real, being authentic, being you. Because the truth is, every other person already exists. You should be yourself. Every other person is taken, like one of my favorite quotes to say, every other person is taken. The world is waiting for you to be yourself, to be who you were made to be. The world is actually waiting for you. So, and I think one reason why people just, do things like that, or try to follow after other people, or follow celebrities and do things that celebrities do, or, follow after just what a group does, or just follows after the crowd, is because they feel like they are not special, right? You hear people say, oh, you're not special. You are just one more person amongst how many billion people in the world, over 7 billion. You're just another person. You're just another cosmic mistake. You're just another, things like that. And that's because people really don't understand um, God's creation. They don't understand um, God's idea of creation, and why He created humans, and why we are on this earth. I know man has been trying to search for meaning for so long. And because of that, still man has not really understood or realized why we were created. And that's because they try to find that meaning outside of God. And so when we try to find meaning outside of the one who created us, definitely we are not going to find anything. No logic is going to tell us that. No, nothing is going to tell us that, except the Bible and the person who actually created us. And that's why when people feel like no one is special, yeah, just in all the amount of people on the earth, in the billions and billions of people on the earth, why should you be special, right? But that is so not true, because God views each human specially. I know it's amazing. It's like, how can this God like see over 7 billion people as special and more, and counting, right? But that's because he is God. He is not man. Man cannot do that. How many birthdays can you remember? You guys, I am forgetting birthdays more and more. The thing is even that if not that some people remind me of my birthday, I might even forget my own birthday. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even joking, to be honest. I might forget my birthday. And if I can forget my birthday, why can't I forget so many other people's birthdays? I don't even know how many people I know on the earth. I know I've met a lot of people since I was born, right? Some faces I remember from like way back then, some I don't, right? Imagine I've met like a million people. Let's just imagine like I've met a million people. And each of these people have told me their birthdays. I won't even keep any of them in my mind. I tell you, even like pins, I, I don't remember that kind of stuff. So humans think that God is like us. And that's why we think that none of us can be special to God, because many times we don't even see other people as special to us. And because we cannot remember, because we are fallible, we can't remember so many things. We feel like God is fallible like we are. And why should he remember or know about every single living thing on the earth? Meanwhile, he knows about every single person. He knows every single person, every strand of our hair on our head. He knows it. He names it. Every little plant that grows and dies, God knows it. God knows its name. The universe, recently my little brothers were even telling me, oh, we have the multiverse, we have the this and that. And I'm like, how did God even, do all of these things? It's just super amazing. But that's because he's God. He's omnipresent, omniscient. He's everything. We can't even begin to comprehend how amazing God is. And so we must not make that mistake of thinking that God is man, and that because um, we are so many on the earth that he cannot see each of us as special. But he actually does. He sees you as special. He sees me as special. He calls you his masterpiece. He calls me his masterpiece. Right? And so if God sees you in that manner, you have to see yourself in that manner. For a person to truly be their authentic, real self, that person has to see themselves in the image that God views them as. In the beginning, God told, Jesus, the Son of God, and the Spirit of God, that let us create man in our own image. God created you in his image. You see, I'm just realizing something. Human beings create God in their own image. God created us in his image. Y'all, clock it. just, I'm just kidding. Okay. But seriously, guys, seriously. Um, God is amazing. And he created each of us in his image, with his likeness, his excellence, his wisdom, everything that he is. I think one thing that has being the deal breaker for me is realizing that whatever God is, I can be too. Not in that kind of sense, like becoming a God, no, no. But that whatever my father is, I can be too. My father is excellent, I can be excellent. My father is wise, I can be wise. My father understands, he knows, I can understand and know too. Because he wants me to. He created me in his image. And so because of that, I can be my real self. I don't have to form or conform to anything that the world might want me to be. I don't have to be like someone else. I don't have to be like a celebrity or someone who, is on the screen every time. I don't have to be anybody. I just have to be myself. Because, like I said before, every other person is taken. I have to be myself. Who's going to be me if I keep acting like someone else? Who's going to be me? No one. So I'd rather be myself. So being the real you is showing up as your authentic self, not having fear or having this self-imposter syndrome. I realized something this morning because I'm someone who in the past I used to have this self-imposter syndrome a lot. I used to, you know, when I'm doing stuff, when I'm active doing stuff, for some reason I just start telling myself that this cannot be me. It cannot be me that is actually doing this stuff. And because of that, I, just switch off and I become passive. I remember one time in 2020, yeah, 2019, 2020, I was writing really well on Facebook, writing really nice content. People were loving it. It was blowing up on chat. They were, telling me how relevant and how different my writings were. And I just had this self-imposter syndrome and I just shut off. This was me that wrote almost every day. I became someone who didn't write in 2 years. I'm not even joking. I didn't write nothing for at least 2 years. I didn't even show up on Facebook. I didn't want to. So it was like I was going to be identified as a fraud or something, as though I wasn't the one doing it. I wasn't the one writing these things. I wasn't the one typing. It was just as though you know, I was a fraud inside of my body. And to be honest, I realize that that is a big problem for so many people, especially when they are doing. And that's why they instead go into complacency because it's so easy to be comfortable than to be uncomfortable, right? But the regret, the pain of not doing is actually worse than, you know, doing. That's the truth. And so I realized this morning that really self imposter syndrome, it's a funny thing because I'm telling myself that I'm not the one doing it. And I have to realize that, yes, I'm really not the one doing it. That's what I realized this morning. That I'm really not the one doing it. It is God inside of me that is doing it. When you are a believer and you are doing things, especially according to the will of God, and the thoughts of self imposter syndrome or the thoughts of, all of these things come to you, you need to realize and tell that thought or that spirit or whatever is bringing it that you are really not the one doing it. It is God inside of you. It is the Spirit of God inside of you, working through your spirit and through you to bring that into manifestation. So it's really not you. So if it's not you, why should you have self imposter syndrome? It is not you. You're not doing it for you. You're not doing it by you. You're doing it through Him. Right? So that again liberated me this morning. And I just realized that really we are built different as believers. We mustn't allow the lies of the world and the things that, the world just takes as normal to overcome us. Psychology, the logic, the blah, blah, blah. We don't work by any of those things. Ours is a different kingdom, right? And so we must work with God to rid of these things from our mind. We must become someone who has a esteem in God. Not, I used to deal with a lot of low self-esteem, a lot, right from when I was in secondary school, up till university. Had really low self-esteem, and it's so funny because people saw me and thought like I was very confident, but I had to work, and I'm still working. I have had to work on my self confidence, knowing that it is God that is working inside of me and through me to do the things that He has called me to do. Excuse me, right? And so, being the real you is recognizing who you are in God and not being afraid of yourself. and not being afraid of anything, right? One favorite quote that was said during the Aquila in the Aquila and the Bee movie was, our fear is not that we are inadequate. Our fear is that we are amazing beyond bounds. That's not how we said it, but I rephrase it, right? Is that we are actually amazing beyond bounds, that we are actually overqualified, over adequate. And then because of that, we succumb to self imposter syndrome, and then succumb to complacency and don't do the things that we're supposed to do. Or recognize who we are in God, that God actually created us in His image and in His likeness, and for His perfect will, for His glory, to please Him. We get rid of this fear, we get rid of everything that is holding us down, and we step into everything that God has called us into. And I'm just thankful to God for the word that He declared over my life in this year 2026. He told me that what my word, or the phrase for this year, is the shift. So me shifting from fear into confidence, into everything that He has called me to do, um, from failure into progress, into success, defined in His hands, from everything that has held me down to soaring beyond bounds. And it's just so funny because um, one of my friends, Victoria Undu, who recently published a book, Audacity, I attended a pre-launch and birthday party, and the title, the theme for that program was The Shift. God works in amazing ways, right? You think that you're working in isolation, but He's actually connecting you with things in the universe and with people that are shaping you into becoming the person that you need to be. And so it took me for that program. And to be honest, um, I saw a shifting in my mindset about some things. And even after that, He has been moving me into rooms that just in the past, it's not even up to a month yet, in the past 1 month, let me say it like that, I have seen how He's moving marvelously in my life and moving me into the things that He has called me to do, shifting me actually into the things that He has called me to do. And that can only be possible when I submit myself to Him. It's not like I have not known the things that He has wanted me to do in the past few years. I have, but for some reason I was afraid. I was thinking about people. I was not confident. So many things. But towards the end of last year, I decided, you know what? I am surrendering. I am submitting. Lord, just use me the way you want me to. You want to use me. Just do with me what you want. I don't want to. It's not for me, right? It's for you. You are the one who's going to take the glory. Nothing that I'm doing is for me. So why am I afraid? If you are the one that it's for, why am I afraid? And so giving it up to Him and submitting myself, surrendering myself to Him has really helped to shift me into the things that He has called me to do. And He's helping me. I see how He's helping me every single day to do the things that He wants me to do, to be the real me, to no longer be afraid, to no longer, you know, try to conform to the ideas that I have in my head, or the ideas that people may have about me. And I would really love for you to also experience that, His help every single day, so that you can understand that you were created in His image and in His likeness, and that you are excellent like your Father, and that He shifts you into everything that He wants you to become. This is my prayer for you. And so, thank you so much for listening once again. Thank you. I would really love to hear your thoughts, your feedback. Listen, share, subscribe. Yeah, until next time, I'll see you. Thank you. Bye.